Have you heard the term concerned trolling? I this is one of those things that it's weird when you hear about it and it's kind of eye rolling, but then when you experience it, it's like it's like it's like the Twilight Zone. It's so strange to me, and it's unnerving. Why is there so much of this in comics? Why? Why? This makes no sense. I'm going to tell you about a firsthand account of something that happened to me. I don't. And just you let me know. I want you to listen to this, and I want you to think to yourself, try and find the valid reason for this person doing what I'm about to tell you, and then help me out because right now I'm just creeped out. Hey everybody, this is Perch. This is one of those things that I never thought would happen to me. A lot of stories start out that way, but this is something I've heard from other people a lot, and for whatever reason, I always thought this was something where people would do it, about me, not to me. And so here's what I'm talking about. So I have a social media presence. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook. I never go to Facebook. I'm just telling you, I keep trying. Like I was on Facebook many, many years ago, and well, I guess not that many. I was on MySpace many, many years ago. I was on AOL Messenger before that. I'm old. Anyway, I was on Facebook, and it brought so little value to me. And I at one point I was getting value out of it, and then it just kind of stopped. There just wasn't any. And no matter how hard I tried, I just couldn't get value out of it. And I'm still in a bunch of Facebook groups, but increasingly those are just they're more annoying. Have you ever had something where it feels like a chore to check your mail or your networks? It's always like a bad sign. So I mean, I'm in. Hang on a second. All right, I'm in 15 different retailer groups on Facebook, different Facebook retailer groups, and I'm in a couple creator groups. Hang on a second. I'm in three creator groups. I don't know why I'm in there, but that's okay. And a handful of other things. And I go there and I check them, but increasingly those groups are not as helpful as they used to be. Like I come in and I'm like the no nonsense guy. This is going to dox me, but I'm like the hey, guy from 2 days ago was asking a question about where he could pick up a punchline. First printing, first appearance, and he's got a customer who needs one, and nobody responded to him. Does anybody know where this guy can get his comic? Exactly what I posted. So everybody's running to their Facebook groups like, oh, it's him. Anyway, um, it's that kind of stuff. I do that kind of stuff. I'm like Mister. You know that meme of like the nice guy. He's like the nice helper guy. I forget he's got a name, but anyway, that's me. I think that's me. And more often than not, I feel like chump, not nice guy. But anyway, so I'm but mostly I'm in Twitter. And I'm in Twitter because it fits what I do. I do the saved you a click thing. If you've never seen me over in Twitter, I'll explain what that is in a minute. It's basically where I read a news article. I hate clickbait. And I hate it when news articles like bury the lead, like somebody just died in a DC comic and you won't believe who. And then you got to read it, and it's like it's like ugh. And most of the time it's like really eye rolling. The worst one was comicbook.com, and they would do the why Stan Lee wasn't a cameo in Spider-Man Far From Home. It's like he died. That's why. But that's that was the headline. It's like why wasn't Spider-Man? We've got the answer. Why wasn't Stan Lee in there? And it's like it's just douchey. So I would look at that article, I'd get the answer, and then I'd basically retweet the original article, and I'd just put the answer. And it's always best if it's like 2 words, like because he was dead, and hashtag saved you a click. And what's weird is these news sites have not blocked me. But what's funny is that the engagement I get, the likes and the retweets and the responses, far exceeds the original comicbook.com article, which I just find hilarious. So that's why I keep doing it. Anyway, that's generally what my Twitter thing is. And then every now and then I poke at something. I would like to post more panels that I find ridiculous from all eras. But I'm always a little wary because when I do that, and if it's a comic from, say, the last 10 years, like people just dog pile on it with like see, yes, this is the woke apocalypse. And it's like, I mean, it's cool if that's what you're after, but I'm just trying to make fun of a panel. I'm not necessarily signing up for to be lieutenant in the SJW versus non-SJW wars. I'm just posting something that looks stupid. That's all. That's my game. Anyway, so I opened up my DMs, which arguably was a mistake, and I I finally got my first DM that went like this: "Hey, I see that you're following just some guy. He's Comicsgate. Just thought you should know." And I'm like, okay. I was creepy. It was creepy as hell because this was a case where somebody had gone to my friends list, I guess, or it's not friends. With Twitter, it's not friends. It's like people you follow. And for me, I try and follow, like, I follow a ton of complete douchebag industry people in movies and in comics and in people in things outside of comics. I'm trying to keep my eye on what's going on in pop culture. So it's like I follow a lot of movie producers who are complete and absolute scumbags. I admit I do it. And and so this thing came through. It's like, did just so you know, I see that you're following something, which means somebody went into my followers and like scrolled down until they got to somebody that is problematic. And then they decided to message me as a helpful tip that just some guy is problematic. And I guess so. Here's where I got to cop to something. I don't pay attention to what's in the feed. I'll be really, really honest. If there's somebody I'm following from somewhere in the industry, or just, I don't know why, I thought I'm just going to admit I've heard some of just some guy's videos. I always thought they were decent in what he did. I thought he lays out a point, and whether I agree with it or don't agree with it, I always feel like he brings the circumstantial evidence, if that makes any sense. He brings the I like people who show their math. I like people who lay out a topic and they lay out a subject, and whether I agree with it or I disagree with it, they go through the motions, they go through the process of explaining kind of their point of view, and I like that. It causes me to think. I wish more people did it. I wish more people I disagreed with did it because I like to learn. I like to learn why people think the way they think. I don't know. That's how I grow. Hey. Anyway, and the guy's been nice to me, I think, on social media, and I have no issue with him. I don't, but I couldn't tell you is he Comicsgate or not. I mean, I guess I can see every now and then some of the videos, the little you might be interested in YouTube come up, and I see that he's talking about like something that's more of a social topic, and so I like, okay, I guess, but I don't track that stuff. I'm just going to be clear. I don't look at my wall. That's not really. I don't look at my feed on Twitter. I don't look at my wall on Facebook. I don't look at really the recommended videos that come in on YouTube. Most of the time, when I open up YouTube, it's like the quickest possible point to get from that homepage to the creator studio, so I can upload the next 800 videos that I'm going to be showing over the next 3 days. That's typically what I'm doing. And then what happens is I talk to people and they send me links like, hey, you might like this or whatever, and then I check it out. When I'm driving, I'm recording videos. I'm doing that right now. When I'm at home, I'm trying to teach my kids not to burn the house down, or building a tree house, or doing consulting work, or prepping for opening a shop, or I would love it if my life wasn't so busy. I told my wife the other day, I don't do one thing at a time anymore. It kind of sucks. I watch TV and I've got my laptop open. I'm doing accounting, and I'm going through Doom Patrol season 2, and I'm in one hand I've got the tablet because my daughter went to sleep and she wants me to check Dragonvale for her. So I'm like a good or dumb dad, you take your pick. I'm clearing those gyms, and then on the other hand I've got my laptop open and I'm trying to figure out the tax burden for the next year of what I got to deal with, and that's what I'm doing. Or I put those things down and I've got Xcode open and I'm trying to screw around with an app. That's my life. So I listen to lots of other people's videos. I think there's some great ones out there, but I don't have time to casually just hang out and find out who voted for who, and frankly, I don't really care who voted for who. I just don't. I guess I should, but I don't. Like I just don't. It does not matter to me. I don't care. If I'm the guy who's like, somebody in my network is going to get arrested for, I don't know, like massive money laundering, and I'm going to be the last one to be like, what he did? I had no idea. And my friends are going to be like, didn't you realize? I mean, didn't you look over at his house when he bought like the 5 Ferraris and the 3 ponies for his kid, and he had a helicopter? I mean, but he worked at Target. I mean, where do you think he was getting that money? I'm like, oh man, you're right. That's going to be me. But the creepy part was like, who's taking the time to go through my follower feed and figure out who I'm following, and then tell me, and then what do they want me to do with this information? Like, I'm like, I stared at it. I'm like, I didn't know if I should block this person because they're a creepy stalker, or I just like, what are you doing? And by the way, I know this goes on. I've got various friends in the industry who've done it. I always expect they're going to come to me and say, "Hey, somebody said this about you." Like, I was just when I did the interview with Brian Edward Hill, I was like so happy because I love the hell out of him. I love his work. I love like everything he does. But I was like, I remember, I think I even told him, I'm like, man, somebody's going to message you and be like, "Hey, you're talking to that Perch guy. He's I don't know what I am. He's problematic." I'm like, you're gonna get one of those, and I think I mentioned, and I think Hill's like, I don't care. They can message me all they want, and but I'm just like, who does this? I hear this, and I know it goes on, but it took on such a weird new meaning when it came my direction. On one hand, I'm like, should I say thank you that somebody's trying to look out for me? Should I say, please, I'd like a restraining order because you're getting way too close? I kind of want to say like, I'm good. Like, I appreciate you kind of looking out for me, but here's the deal. No, nobody can hurt me on Twitter that I'm following. Please, if you see somebody, like if you're stalking my house at night, you see somebody approaching with a knife, you shoot me a call. Like, I will promise you, I will overlook the fact that you're camped out outside my house with binoculars, and you give me the heads up that there's a crazy psycho coming to my house. That's good to know. Or if somebody's on a video, like I know that some of the big live casters, they say my voice sounds kind of gay. I mean, actually, I don't even want to know about that. I don't care what my voice sounds like. My voice sounds pretty crappy because I'm recording in a car with bad audio. That's what my voice sounds like. I don't know what is it. What does kind of gay mean for a voice? Is it the way I pronounced hyperboil? Is that what it is? You guys realize, by the way, I'm doing that to just irritate you. Well, whatever. Anyway, why do people do this? And I know this video hasn't had a lot to do with comics, but it's so prevalent in comics. Like, does this happen in other industries? I don't know of any other industries. Like, over in pharmaceutical, is like a lab tech getting a DM from somebody going, "Hey, one of the people that you follow works for Pfizer, the boner drug company. You gotta unfollow that person, dude. It's a boner drug company." Is that go on? Like, does this happen anywhere else? This is super weird. And if you're one of those people who've written this message, like, did you realize that? Like, what? I want to. This is like intervention time. You're strange. You're coming off really weird, man. You got weird energy right now by doing this. I don't do this. It's super weird. Don't do it. I don't know. I just, this is always one of those cases. I want to interview some people, and I realize this is a good idea in concept. It would not work out in reality. Where, like, I want to do an interview, like when I do the Friday live stream, I want to invite the person on the show to go, "Hey, so what are you thinking there?" But I think it would come across more like To Catch a Predator, like I invite somebody in on false pretenses, like, "Hey, let's have you on the show, yeah, let's live stream," and we'd start live streaming, like, so. Before we get to comics, why do you DM people about who they follow? Like, why do you do that? It's super weird. Explain what's going on here. Did you realize you were on To Catch a Predator? Oh well. Anyway, has this? So my questions are: one, has this happened to you? Two, are you doing this to other people? And if yes, why? Like, what are you trying to accomplish? And then three, assuming this has not happened to you and you're not doing it to other people, why are people doing this? Now, I know they're doing it because they want to control, and it's a whisper network, and people are being creepy, and they're trying to exert pressure, gatekeepers. I know all that stuff. Don't tell me that. I got it. But psychologically, like, how did those people cross the boundary of not being just creepy AF? Because that is like they think they're doing something gatekeepery or all the rest, but they're being super sketchy right there. And how did they get up the momentum inside to post this and then ignore the fact that they seem like lunatics? Does anybody have the answer to that, or just complete lack of self awareness? Damn millennials. I don't know. Anyway, what do you say about that? Normally I'd say like subscribe, but I mean, yeah, really. All I can say is this isn't usually the stuff I talk about. But so I feel like I unlocked a trophy on PlayStation. It's like, some creepy stalker concern trolled me about somebody I was following, and now I kind of want to go and give a big thumbs up to all Just Some Guys videos, because this is weird. This is super weird. Anyway, if you were listening, Just Some Guy, um, hey, I'm following you at your problematic comics gate. Did you know? Were you aware? Did you know? Because yeah, it's bad. I don't know. I just leave it. Talk, people. Just read comics. Leave each other alone. God damn. Thanks for listening.